What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another reaction video. We got NFL players who had rough childhoods. Let's check this out.
Really understand my background as much until I open it up to them.
You have to be strong enough for all of us. And I really thought I was.
Yeah, that was a difficult time.
I was mad.
It was scary, honestly.
These are NFL players who had rough childhoods. And
Okay.
first, I didn't know this one NFL
Josh
star
Jacobs?
was once homeless.
Oh,
That's because
shit.
Josh Jacobs and his 4 brothers and sisters grew up in the hood and raised by a single dad who struggled to put a roof over their head. Sometimes they will all have to sleep in the back of their dad's small car or in motels for short stretches.
I honestly never thought about going to NFL or nothing like that. Growing up, I ain't have nobody to look up to in this
Damn,
position.
that's
When I
sad,
got
bro.
custody of all kids, I was in my room by myself.
Remember, always be grateful for what y'all got, bro. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody is blessed
And I said,
and fortunate to have, you know what I'm saying, have nice things and shit.
And the only thing I heard is
Just try to stay humble and,
protect
you know what I'm
their
saying?
destiny. Most
Grateful.
of us were living out of the car, and literally we'll pack everything in the car, and when we get to a hotel, unpack everything, and then pack everything that morning.
And because of this, Josh's only escape was football, which ended up
So
changing
that's why he
his
runs so
family
hard,
life.
bro.
And the first
Try to
purchase
get
he
his
made
family
for
out the
his
hood.
contract was to buy his family a house. Now, he may be also buying offensive lineman chains of their jersey number now, but it's crazy to think that this guy once had nothing. But this next player knows
Najee?
exactly what Josh went through because he lived it himself.
Oh,
Najee
shit.
Harris and his mom weren't just homeless; they even had to move to a few different states.
Like I love these type of stories, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like NFL players that were homeless and then just, you know what I'm saying, kept grinding and shit and getting to the NFL level where they're able to get their family out the hood, bro. I love those type of stories. I ain't gonna lie.
Short periods of time.
Those inspirational type
We were
stories.
homeless. We were back and forth from state to state.
I mean, I'm living
Damn.
in Seattle and California. That place stuck out the most because it was grimy there. Like the food was stuff in there, like insects and stuff.
He was a bit hungry some nights. He couldn't focus well at school.
I got in a lot of fights.
So Najee's been on the move his entire life, on and off the field. Now, at least Najee had his mom, because his other player kept
Puka?
on playing the game he loved while being heartbroken. Puka Nacua is always crying during the national anthem before every game. That's because he takes a moment to remember his dad who passed away when he was only 11 years old.
R.I.P.
11 years
man.
old when your father passed away. Take me through the emotions that surround something.
Football was the main thing that was our family, like that was our, I guess, our stop in time was football. Especially I think for me, it brought me back to football.
When do you feel your father the most?
The national anthem is like kind of a quiet moment in the stadium when I feel like I'm able to calm myself and to enter a stage of being able to hear my father speak to me and enjoy his presence right before I get to play.
Inside, Puka is in pain, but he stayed locked in and cultivated the seed his dad planted.
I know his dad's smiling down on him now, bro. I'm proud of him.
Twice in the same
Oh yeah, I remember this, bro. Yeah, this. Oh my gosh, bro. Y'all all know I'm a Ravens fan. You know what I'm saying? Main reason I started watching football again because of this nigga, bro. You know what I'm saying? I know damn near everything about this nigga now. I know this story right here is when I think his dad and his grandma died in the same day, bro. That shit is traumatizing. I ain't gonna lie. Like real shit.
Years, but not Lamar Jackson. Bro was hurting bad after his dad and grandma both died only a few hours apart on the very same day, and his mom had to step up for him. But made Lamar.
I couldn't imagine going through that, bro.
Your grandma the same day?
Same day, 2005.
But your mom wouldn't let you cry.
No, I didn't cry. I found out my father.
R.I.P. to both of them,
And at
man.
first I started crying, then I just stopped. My mom tell me like she got a phone call. My grandma was probably in Daytona or something like that. Grandmother just passed, and she was like, "Don't cry." I'm like, "You just told me don't cry. My grandma just died." Like that was crazy. She had to be mentally tough at a young age.
Is that where some of your strength
Yeah,
comes from?
mentally strong, and she didn't cry. I couldn't cry because she a woman. I'm like, I'm not finna cry. She not gonna cry.
She proved to be his rock and what inspired him to keep going.
Yeah, she's a huge
W mom, man.
Just by her just raising 4 of us,
Shit, the reason he got that contract too, bro.
Being the oldest and just see how she grind and work without complaining, not wanting me to get a job, telling me to focus on football, and she gonna take care of everything else.
Without that support, who knows where he'll be today? 'Cause
Facts,
even
bro.
his mom helped him secure a major contract.
That's when
But
he
what
get
changed
that
his
Super Bowl,
life
bro.
His mom was
I'm gonna be emotional my damn self, real shit.
His mom became addicted to crack, and one
Huh?
night, while she was on the streets, tragedy struck.
No.
She was shot in the head 2 times by a dealer. Young T was left home all by himself, a few houses down from where the incident went down, and he remembers running to the scene of the crime like it was yesterday.
So it was a car here, police car here. It was only like a crime scene. Like I'm like, let me through, I want to see my mom. My sister had told me that that mom was been shot. I was like yay high, and she leave me at home by herself just to go get some drugs. She was addicted. Yeah, it was crazy. I ran barefoot all the way down, just crying. Yeah, it was crazy though. I remember that like it was yesterday.
Now, out of some miracle,
Damn,
T's
bro.
mom survived the near fatal shots, and she turned her life around. And today, she's
W.
the biggest fan, thanking her son for saving her life.
Hey T, Mama, I just wanted to tell you how proud I am of you. I've always dreamed and wanted to go to the Super Bowl. And now my dream has finally come true. I can't explain to you what that means to me. Like I always tell
Nah,
you,
that makes me warm inside, bro.
I love you, son.
But this is nothing
Wow.
compared to being related
W
to
mom, man.
Growing up,
That
Debo
Debo?
wanted to be just like his big bro Quan. Debo would follow his brother around like a lost puppy and wanted to do everything he did, even
Okay.
after Quan tried to ditch his ass like all big bros. But one day, while Debo was attending class in high school, he got a call with devastating news that changed everything.
What happened?
One called and Tyshawn kept yelling my name, and he was in the floor crying his eyes out. And I said, "What's wrong?" And he said, "My brother not okay." Only thing I could do was just hold him and cry.
The only thing you can do is, just try to keep going. Don't let that get in the way of nothing that you are trying to achieve in your life.
Now, thankfully, Debo's dad was there for him and kept him locked into the
Damn,
love,
bro.
unlike what happened to Jordan Love, whose heart was broken. Now, Pookie may look clean cut and innocent.
Can you just get it out early? The whole with light skin and all that. Just get it out early. Go ahead.
What we got?
Go ahead. Get it out early.
I appreciate you keeping the culture going. Light-skinned pretty dudes.
Okay, come on.
Hey, yo!
He lost his dad growing up.
Quarterbacks are kind of like superheroes, especially in Green Bay, right? Every superhero has an origin story. But I guess your story would start at 14 when your father passes, when your mother encourages you to
R.I.P.,
continue
man.
playing football. What was that time like for you?
Yeah, that was a difficult time. Obviously, just losing my father, that was tough. Being 14 years old, the man I look up to, the man who raised me, losing a parent, like it was very tough for me and my family. A very hard situation.
And bowed out to Brock Purdy in the playoffs. That's rough. But hey, bro is balling out. But after one player had to confront the person who killed his family, everything changed.
Oh,
Warwick
shit.
Dunn was the best little big back ever. But behind those runs was pain. Before breaking into the NFL, Warwick's mom, who raised him and his 5 brothers and sisters all by herself, was murdered by being in the wrong place at the wrong time.
That's where I saw my mom's body laying on the table, and there was police officers surrounding the table. So, it just hit me. I was shocked.
Warwick was there to embrace us, and it became so real.
And soon, Warwick met with the person who killed his mom in prison.
Warwick met with Kevin Brumfield, one of the men convicted of killing his mom. Brumfield sits on death row at Angola.
Ain't gonna lie, bro. Nigga, I would have crashed the fuck out. I'ma keep it a buck, Gango. What you mean you killed my mom? The fuck? Oh, hell no, bro. I'm crashing the fuck out then and there, bro.
State prison in Louisiana.
Looking at his face, Warwick wanted to do the worst to him.
What'd you say to him when you first saw him?
Really, I didn't know what to say. It was just one of those moments that I just tried to stay calm.
But he proved to be the bigger person and for
I like that.
All those
I like
nights
that.
I've cried and sat around and just
I like that,
the
bro.
times that I've really missed out on smiling, having.
Cause I know a lot of niggas would have crashed out in that situation. No
I
bullshit.
gave him that power, so I felt like I
He
needed
better than
to
me.
gain that power.
But he didn't go to his execution.
No desire. I'm free.
15 years later, are you mad?
I'm not mad anymore. Things happen for a reason. I learned that.
But after all that, to pay respect to his mom's memory, Warwick set up a housing program for other single-parent families to own their own homes.
It was just the happiest time of my life.
It takes a little bit to build that generational wealth, but this is where you start.
This video is from very young in your playing time, and I want you to take a listen.
After your mother's death, you became father and mother to your 5 brothers and sisters. You've got quite a burden for a young man.
I'm only 24 years old. I still have my own life to live. I think it's just going to pay off for me in the long run.
Wow, respect.
And it did.
But this next player
Dion.
had to grow up as a kid real quick after what happened to his mom.
Oh yeah, didn't she get blinded?
His mom after she was blinded by an attack
Yeah.
from acid when he was only 10 years old.
I remember hearing about this.
Shocked somebody could look like that. It was scary, honestly.
This could have crushed him. But DeAndre,
And don't she still come to his games too?
Steak, stepping up to be the man of the house and taking care of his brother and 2 sisters. Seeing his mom struggle with everyday life gave him all the motivation he needed to go all the way to the pros. And today, DeAndre is still a mama's boy who gives his mom the ball every time he scores a touchdown.
Yeah.
But for Dak Prescott, he felt his family was
I
hurt.
remember this.
After a tough battle, Dak's mom lost her battle with cancer.
Damn, fuck cancer, bro.
RP
RIP to her, man.
To not necessarily worry about her.
Damn.
And then her initial deal was, well, allow me to be.
Why can't they just come up with a cure for cancer already? I know they already got it, bro. Like, there's no way, gang.
Physically, just because she didn't have any hair, she would never show the pain inside that she was feeling.
But for Dak and his brothers, things were about to get much worse. The pain of losing her to cancer was too much for his big brother Jace to bear, and he ended up taking his own life.
I'm reading this message and I don't believe it. I literally get up like, oh my God, my brother just accidentally shot himself. You know, like oh, he shot himself in the foot, or he shot himself in here, and then I get the message, no, he shot himself in the head.
So inside, Dak's pain is only more motivation for him to work even harder, which is something that Isaiah Pacheco can relate as well.
They didn't really understand my background as much.
I remember hearing about this too.
You never know when it's going to be your last opportunity, or I never know when it's going to be my last time seeing my sister or my brother.
Now, if you didn't know, Isaiah Pacheco runs angry. He runs so hard, even his teammates noticed that his runs are emotional. And that's because he's running for his brother and sister, who were both murdered over the course of 2 years.
I was like 16 when my brother died.
It changed everybody's life when we found out he got murdered.
My brother ended up getting stabbed and lost his life that night. It was hurting me because I didn't have that same guidance when I would hear him scream my name at the football fields. 1 year after that, got a knock on the door by a family member. She says, "It's Celeste." I'm like, "Celeste, what you mean?" She's gone. I'm just in shock because I didn't know what to do after losing a brother and like a sister now.
And knowing this, everyone got behind Isaiah and just gave him the ball even more, from his college days till now, making him one of the hardest running backs in the league. But hey, let's lighten the mood a little bit, because some players had rough childhoods slightly different ways. Because one player had to go pro or work on the farm forever. Josh Allen grew up on a farm. He lived in a small town with just over 8,000 people. Everybody knew everybody, but Josh knew that this place wasn't for him. The struggle of having to clean up cows and milking cows was real. He was like, man, this sucks. So that was the motivation he needed to escape the farm life. So much that Josh wrote 1,000 emails to every school in the country, including D2 and D3 schools, but no replies. But one school took a chance on
Wyoming.
Josh played out of his mind at Wyoming, slinging balls like stacks of hay and trucking dudes like a runaway tractor.
He dances his way into the end zone. Touchdown.
But other players in college
Tyrann
almost
Mathieu
got kicked out of football before they even made it to the pros.
Wait,
And
for
that's
real?
because Tyrann Mathieu was dealing with a whole lot.
Tyrann had failed multiple drug tests for marijuana.
Yo, I knew this nigga Tyrann Mathieu, you know what I'm saying, was doing the Mary Jane.
You know, he's tearing up. It was just, you know, just looking at my whole life, kind of running away from him.
His whole life has been a long struggle. From the time he was born, his mom gave him up for adoption, to his dad getting incarcerated for life. All of this took him to a dark place, acting out and getting arrested for weed. However, this turned out to be a blessing in disguise, as it forced Tyrann to turn his life around.
I've always been a good dude. I've always been a true leader. But I feel like at that moment, you know, I had let everybody down, but mostly I let myself down. I had to listen to people say I wasn't worthy of being a good teammate.
Tyrann Mathieu.
I had to be a young leader. I'm glad I went through what I went through a year ago. So now I know what's the right way to go. I know how to lead now.
And become a champion.
After winning a Super Bowl in his first season in Kansas City, Matthew's teammates voted him team MVP.
But even being an NFL legend won't stop the demons you had ever since you were a kid. Former Broncos receiver Vance Johnson called his childhood the depths of hell. He even had an abusive dad who beat his mom, traumatizing him and his sister.
Yo!
Traumatized. We were in the back of the car just screaming and crying. And then I'd see it often.
And this abuse had a lasting impact on Vance, even into his adulthood. When at the height of his fame, he turned to drugs and alcohol to cope with the pain.
Johnson found fame while his inner demons
found him.
I thought I had control over my life, and my identity was being famous, being somebody special that people loved and people cared about, not knowing that this thing was going to turn into hell one day.
His addiction spiraled all the way until he tried to delete himself 3 different times.
3 different times?
I got all these relationships that are falling apart. What am I going to do? I sit in my
Bro, if
closet,
y'all ever feel like that, go to therapy,
I
bro.
3 different times I tried to.
Oh my gosh.
Because there was nothing there for me.
He even drunk himself into a coma. All these demons stemming from the dark past of his childhood.
But the turning point was when I knew that God had a plan for me.
Amen. Always turn to God, man.
Away from the game to get his mind right.
I called the Broncos and I said I might sign another 3-year contract. I don't know. I'll show up on my birthday. And I just didn't show up. And so I didn't retire. Basically just kind of walked away from the game and nobody knew where I was for years after that.
Today, Vance is doing better. And he is now traveling all over, helping others not fall into the same dark path that he went.
He's a different person. He is.
God kept him here for a reason, man.
Everybody he meets, he didn't give up, and I think it was a lot of the reason that he's got this passion to help people today, and I think that's one of the reasons that he keeps going.
Hey, that's kind of an inspirational ending, bro. You know what I'm saying? Got a little sad, you know what I'm saying, a few minutes ago, but. Hey, that was a good ass ending, bro. You know what I'm saying? I want to know what you guys think down in the comments below. Y'all let me know what other NFL videos y'all want to react to. Without further ado, I'm out.
I'ma make them feel me, make them people when they chow me. And if you don't know me, I'ma make sure that you know me. I hate to say it, but I really think I'm broke. But I know I'm chosen, I really know I'm chosen. I know I'm chosen. I was just lost a year ago, but now I'm focused. When good at sports, this microphone can be my trophy. Not taking drugs, I found a better way of coping.